So from now on, after I guess for first of all, the idea yesterday or 2 days ago is actually really useful. I will develop a habit of reading books every day. Like before in library, I borrow many books. But I realized that actually studying is also important. I mean academics. So it's impossible to actually borrow that much books and trying to read all of them in a certain time limits, day limits. But the idea is that we're trying to keep ourselves constant reading. Like for example, if we borrow 8 books every day, even if there are unlimited quota of borrowing books, then I borrow 10 books every day back home and makes my home full of books. But this is actually unnecessary, and you will not have the motivation to read all the books you have borrowed. And actually the best idea is that sometimes we're going to bookstores or library and read some of the books, or just trying to obtain the main concepts of each book. Like before, I've known that actually which kind of book is actually my favorite and which kind of book makes me learn things well. Then I'm trying to select the kind of books instead of others and trying to read them or borrow them. I only choose what I wanted. It's more result oriented. I know which kind of book I want. Then I'm trying to obtain the main points from the books instead of just reading the whole books. We're getting a spark of idea. It's impossible for us to reach the whole books and memorize everywhere in the book. We're just trying to get the idea that we needed to, or we're inspired, or we think that that kind of idea is interested and it will be meaningful to our life. So like for example, before in library I've read a book called The Mind Map of Entrepreneurships, and actually I've learned things about networking, a little bit like how to meet my friends, and as well the mindset of making a new business is what you need. You may need investments, fundings, and you need friendships. And how you develop a friendship is actually also important, because sometimes friendships are based on interest, and it's actually an unhealthy friendship. People came in your company for money will also leave your company because of money. They will go to other companies because they gave us more interest or more benefits. Then they will leave your company. So that's the reason why we should not give incentives to others, which is some kind of benefits to pull them into a company. No matter how strong they will eventually leave you. So it's actually very important. And trustfulness, and you're trying to trust others, then people will actually trying to help you as much as possible. So this is also actually a really important concept that I've learned before. And I'm trying to go to bookstores, library, as because library there's not all the books that are meaningful. Especially for library, it's actually a really big storage of books. And also some kind of library like Yutong library is actually a lot of trash books. We really have to differentiate all the books and trying to extract some of the most important and bestsellers to read and get a little bit of inspirations. Then it's actually a bit waste of time. If we're going to bookstores and even we're not buying any books, we're just going to the bookstore every day and trying to look after any good books. For example, there are some how we say that, some really popular books, some famous authors write some books, and that's actually the best sellers in European countries. Then actually we're trying to read that kind or even some books with translations to Cantonese. But we're not trying to like read some kind of books that are written by normal people, because they may not even have the experience as those kind of famous authors, and what they have written is not that inspiring for us. So bookstores sometimes will like having a more modern and new books, as well as those bestsellers are also mostly kept into those kind of bookstores, because they are trying to like sell their books with a high price, instead of like library is actually free, right? So we're trying to more going to the bookstore and look after any books that we're interested in, instead of always going to library. Library is more likely to be studying, and we can take some time to read books that you think that is actually quite interesting, and take their main ideas, but not choosing a lot of books and borrow back to home and not reading it. So yeah, this is what I thought after going to library for continuously few days, or like 1 week going to library or bookstore for 5 to 6 days, 5 or 6 times. And actually it's actually I think that is making me knowing more about how to read books. Like sometimes when people always say that read book is good, but which kind of book is actually motivating us and trying to help us with our personal development, or even trying to let us understand the meaning of life like that, then yes, this is what we have to do. And from Atomic Habits, I'm trying to know the concept of I'm trying to go bookstores more often, and especially for CUHK bookstore, they're actually putting more books that are beneficial to students, and also for students going to CUHK bookstore is actually having some discounts like 15% off, as well as in the in one area of the bookstore there are even more cheaper books, like $30 or $35. You can have a book for yourself, and of course you have to select which kind of book is really beneficial to yourself, instead of seeing the price $20 then you buy it. You have to select, but there's actually a really much resources. Like most of the books in CHK bookstore, as long as it's not too big, or like it's so many pages and words that consists of many concepts, then most of the books are below $100. Then it's actually a really great resources for us to read, and even we don't buy it, we can learn the concept from them. And before I just read the whole book from bookstore and learn all the concept from that book, then I don't even need to buy, right? And buying books is for like if you forgot the concept, or you're feeling loose of motivations, or something you feel lost because you've found some frustrations or disappointment in your whole your daily life, then you're trying to take this book as your inspirations and trying to motivate yourself once again. So yeah, actually today I want to say most about this. And another thing is that I'm trying to develop more habits of exercising, and of course LGBT is kind of exercising as well, because I'm just walking and speaking English or Putonghua for 20 minutes, and trying to like enhance my whole concept, what I've learned that day. And yeah, so for today I've actually already think about this kind of habits for 20 minutes already. So I still haven't talked about today's planning. So today actually I plan to in the morning actually I wake up a little bit late, because yesterday I really slept too late. 2:45 a.m. is actually the latest day ever. Except OCAM, of course. OCAM that day, 4 to 5 p.m., 5 to 5 a.m. sleep is the latest one ever. But apart from that, 2:45 a.m. is the latest one I've slept ever. So today is actually normal for me to sleep a little bit late. I mean, not sleep a bit late. I'm not trying to rationalize my idea. I mean, I'm trying to wake up wake up earlier. I wake up later a little bit, like 10:30, and tomorrow I will try my best to start my habit of waking up at 9 or 8:30, and I'm trying to do some exercises. Like actually, below my home there is a really good place for me to do exercises, which is this park. Then we should actually take the advantage of this park and trying to do some exercises that motivates myself to do everything better and more energetic the whole day. So when we're not trying to take the advantage of this resource, actually we're wasting our money. And as well, even in hostel, like regular days, like Monday to Friday, I will try to wake up at 8:30 as much as possible. If then I can go downwards to have a chill breakfast and have a walk over maybe United College, or even I can walk to CW College and trying to like discover any new stuff. And this can actually broaden my horizon as well. So actually for now, in summary, there are 3 to 4 habits that I have to do. First of all, everyday reading. No matter go library or go bookstores or borrow a small amount of books that I can have a chill time to read after and understand more concepts from the book instead of just reading it in a really shallow way and just learn a little bit and easily forget those concepts. I'm trying to find some meaningful books and trying to get all the concepts from the book that is also meaningful. Then the second idea is wake up earlier and do exercises. So the third one is RGB daily, of course. And the last one, I guess, is a little bit more in studying. Like no matter my interest or my necessary stuff that I have to do, for example, homework and assignments or revision for examinations, projects, project proposal, project presentations, oral examinations, then all of these are academic stuff. Then I have to take some time to do that instead of being a deadline fighter every day. And another thing is my interest. So my interest is I actually got some popsicle sticks in my hall, as well as many like wires, metal wires, as well as other lots of DIY stuff that I can make some creative ideas or innovative ideas in my home. And this can naturally develop my right brain and trying to make me a more creative person. I can always think out of the box. And yes, I've just inspired myself. Think out of the box is actually another idea I will think of in the future life. Maybe borrow a book about thinking out of the box and try to really think out of the box instead of always thinking my ideas are creative and innovative, but actually it's not thinking out of the box. So yes, this is all what I have to do. And I guess these 4 to 5 atomic habits will already fuse my whole life, fuse my whole daily routine. And this is actually really quite great. And I guess this can make me a better life. And I will never think about meaning of life anymore. Like, of course, before I already got a little bit in reflections in meaning of life, but after reflections, we will sometimes still feel that my heart is not, still a little bit not used to this mode, even I understand the idea. So when I'm trying to do my best and trying to make my whole life more colorful, then I will never think about meaning of life. Because as I've said, meaning of life is happy. Being happy and enjoy your life. Then if you have a colorful life, no matter you're just working or what, you keep yourself a really, really good mindset, then you will not always feel like you lose the meaning of life, right? You only think of meaning of life because you lose the meaning of life, right? So yeah, this is actually the whole thing I have to say about. And yeah, later I will go table tennis with my dad if possible, and I will enjoy myself, and also it's another kind of exercises as well. And after that I will try to read books and do my projects, as some of my projects are having deadline and in the future week. Yeah, so I don't know if I have any additional things to talk about, because it seems like I forgot a little bit things. Let me think quick.